As an artist, it seems to me that inspiration and time are stuck in an eternal game of tug-of-war, with me right there in the middle. When time is scarce, I seem to have inspiration aplenty, with nowhere for it to go. But when I have nothing but time, inspiration has a strong pull on the rope, a strong pull away from me, and is nowhere to be found. Recently, I seem to have been stuck in that state, waiting for university to begin again, waiting to start a new job, waiting to go on a pre-booked holiday. But for now, nothing to do. The perfect time to draw, right? So then why can't I? In this video, I will be making a drawing of Oppenheimer and sharing with you how that helped me to get out of Artblock. Lower your expectations. That's the first tip I have to share with you, because whenever I am stuck in Artblock, when it's been a while since I last made anything worthwhile, I have this expectation towards myself that the next thing I create has to be this amazing, innovative artwork, better than anything I've ever made before, as if I was trying to make up for the time that I wasted when I wasn't creating anything. But that often turns out to be counterproductive, because the bigger and more spectacular the artwork you want to make, the more pressure there is to find that great idea to make that artwork about, and the less likely you are to actually do it. If you do have that great idea, then by all means go for it. But if you're like me and you just can't think of anything great to draw, then lower your expectations. But if nothing great and spectacular, what then should you draw? Tip 2. Draw what's close to you. So now that I'm done with the sketch, I'm just setting up the art supplies for the inking here. And as I do that, why did I choose to draw Cillian Murphy in his role as Oppenheimer? The answer to that is very simple. I had just watched the film, I thought it was fantastic, and it was on my mind. That's it. Generally, I think I have moved away from making fan art quite a while ago. I do still occasionally do it, sometimes for videos. But generally, I would say it gives me more pleasure to draw something original. But of course, if I had an original idea, I would be doing that. I wouldn't be in Artblock. So, a film you watched, a book you read, something you saw online, just draw something that's on your mind anyway. I think in general, it'll be a theme throughout this video that taking away that difficulty of decision making, of coming up with something new, will make it easier for you to get out of that drawing slump. And that brings me to the next tip. Probably one of my least favorite things to do in art, and something I should probably do more often, drawing from reference. A lot of people enjoy drawing from reference, and I know it's very good for learning things because you're only going to get good at something by replicating it. But usually, to be honest, it gives me nothing to just kind of copy what I'm seeing in front of me. I want to have something original that I create myself. But again, if I had that idea to create something myself, I wouldn't be in Artblock. And getting out of Artblock is all about making it the easiest it can be for yourself to create an artwork that you like, that you're proud of, so that then after that joy for art returns and you can go on creating more work with more confidence. So in this case, I would recommend drawing from reference. At this point, I'm swapping the dip pen out for a brush to fill in the greater black areas of shadow in the face. I really enjoy working with the Indian inks, the dip pen and the brushes. Even though I think I haven't mastered the medium completely, I'm getting quite used to it by now. And I love the line that the dip pen creates and the texture from the inks. This brings me to my next point. Draw what you know, and with what you know. I'm using a medium I enjoy and am familiar with, as well as drawing a face, which granted I haven't done in this fashion in a wee while, but is generally a subject that I feel comfortable in drawing. If I'd done a landscape painting in oils instead, that would have been a whole different story, because I would have been uncomfortable with both the subject matter and the medium. And in the state that I found myself in, both of that probably would have been far too daunting to even start the painting. I'm now switching back to the dip pen, by the way, to add some more lines, because I felt that at this point the foundation was good enough to stylize the piece a little bit. And then the very last tip, draw what you don't know. I do realize that's contradictory to the previous point, and yes, most of this video has been drawing what's in your comfort zone and making this process the easiest it can be for yourself. But of course we can't just stay in our comfort zone completely. I believe that in order to get out of Artblock, you need to feel excited about art again, and the best way to do that is to do something new. I therefore think it is best to make, say, 90% most aspects of this artwork as easy as possible for yourself. Do what you know, do what you like, but to pick one aspect to try something new, something different. For me, in this case, I decided to use this opportunity to be inspired by an artist that I've admired on Instagram for a long time, Ryan Gaida, I believe it's pronounced. And while I ended up kind of doing my own thing with the lines anyway, you can clearly see how heavily I'm inspired by him with the colouring. For this, I scanned in my artwork and added the colouring digitally in Photoshop. And yeah, I just love the way he always sticks to the same colour palette of reds and blues, and as I've mentioned before in many videos, I'm not the greatest with choosing colours myself, so I thought this would be a perfect opportunity to kind of try out this sort of style of colouring, and I really like how it turned out. I hope you found some of those tips helpful. Coming out of Artblock is different for everybody, and this is what worked for me in this case, how I got time and inspiration to lay down their rope and give up their tug of war. Here's the final result.